making his unfiltered debut. He will be joining us every single week on the Comcast Business Hotline. The Baseball Hall of Fame writer for The Athletic, the one and only Jayson Stark. What's going on, my man?
How we doing, boys? Good to be with you.
We are doing great after watching that Phillies series against the Seattle Mariners. But I know we start every single time with Jayson Stark with your stat of the week. What do you got for us today?
Well, Zack Wheeler feels like he's a topic, so let's talk about Zack Wheeler. I was looking for a way to measure what Zack means to this team. So here's how I decided to do it. In the games that Zack Wheeler has started since he joined the Phillies, that was 2020. You know what the record is? 69-37. Ooh. That means they have played like a 105-win team when Zack Wheeler's pitched for 6 years. Amazing. In games anyone else has pitched, they've gone 387 and 342. So that means in all the other games, they've played like an 86-win team. I feel like it's the difference between a legit team-changing ace, a guy who's a clear October difference maker, and I would say basically a good number 3 starter on a good team. That's how Zack Wheeler stands head and shoulders above everybody else. And so I think we should look at that and think, what does it mean? We've seen 86-win teams win the World Series. We've also seen the 2011 Phillies, who had 2 legit aces, not get out of the first round. But I think that really does paint the picture of life without Zack Wheeler. The question now is, how long will the Phillies have to live life without Zack Wheeler?
Yeah, I think that would obviously be our question. Number one is, how long is he going to be out? Question number 2 is, how do you try to replace him?
Okay, well, the first question's hard to answer.
Yeah, no, it's almost
to graduate from. Yeah, I forgot to graduate from medical school once again this week, so I don't want to act like I know anything. But from what I'm gathering, there's still a really wide set of variables, even after the procedure he had. Is one of those variables a scenario where he pitches in October? It's possible, but the thing is, this isn't just a baseball deal. If you listen to what everyone around this team says about this, it's just so telling. Think about it. Like, we're thinking about Zack and his family. We just want Zack to be well, et cetera, et cetera. It tells you all you need to know. The doctors still need to figure out exactly what this was, what caused it, whether it could reoccur, whether he needs treatment that would prevent him from traveling. So with all that going on, it's a little hard to think about the idea that he's going to pitch Game 7 of the World Series. But I think then we get to, what if he doesn't? What if there's no Zack Wheeler in October? Is there still a viable path for the Phillies to win the World Series? I mean, they just swept the Mariners, crushed the Mariners, and that is a playoff team. It's a team that I thought before 3 days ago could win the World Series. And Zack Wheeler threw no pitches in this series. So it's telling you that they've got ingredients that could get this done. I just always felt like the path was run the best starting rotation in baseball out there, give up as few runs as a team with that kind of rotation will give up. It means you're going to be ahead. It means a bullpen with Johan Duran is going to protect those leads. That's a viable path to winning the World Series. The margin for error without Zack, face it, is just a lot slimmer.
We're talking the Hall of Fame writer for The Athletic, Jayson Stark, making his unfiltered debut. He'll be joining us every single week. Covers the Major League Baseball, does a great job. Listen, you're talking about Zack Wheeler and what's the path to win a World Series without him, but the lineup tried to show you over the last few days that, hey, maybe we do have a recipe. They put up over 20 hits in back-to-back games. In their last 4, they had 60 hits and 40 runs scored. What's going on, Jayson?
Yeah, I tweeted something that this is the first time the Phillies have had 2 games with 20 hits or more since '08. Never. In the modern era, they had never done that in any series. So that just tells you how good that lineup was, top to bottom. I don't know about you guys. I thought the at-bats, the approach against a really good staff was the best that I can remember. We got 16 hits in this series with runners in scoring position. They manufactured 40 at-bats with runners in scoring position in this series. It just tells you what they're capable of at the bottom of the lineup hits. If they're using the whole field, if they're swinging at strikes. That's what we saw for 3 days and really 4. This has been a streaky team, a streaky offense for a long time, but this is a series that to me was not just about, oh, they're hot. This was about approach, and nothing matters in October more than approach, swinging at strikes, and doing it the way they did it this week.
All right, I want to ask you, because this is a question that's going to come up, and I know you're going to hear it a million times here coming up really soon. Kyle Schwarber, another 5 RBIs today. He's now got 5 home runs, 109 RBIs. And the other guy that there's going to be concern about is JT Realmuto now, hitting 278 all of a sudden, and his numbers are looking respectable. These are 2 guys that are unsigned right now going into free agency. What is it going to take, and do you believe the Phillies could actually get both of these guys back?
You think this is going to come up, Rick? Do you really?
Well, I'm sure you've already thought about it. I'm sure you've already run around this thing.
Right. Yeah. Let's not underestimate how good JT has been. Since June 9th, he has the best batting average of any player in the National League, any of them. He's finally figured out the whole leg kick thing, and it changed everything about what he was capable of doing at the plate, which also erases talk that he's too old to do this. Like, do you remember that talk in spring training? Well, we can't let JT catch more than 120 games. What happened to that, Ricky? He catches every day.
Yeah, they don't seem to care.
Right? The other thing I've noticed is these pitchers, Zack Wheeler in particular, they go out of their way to talk about how important he is, how valuable he is. Why is that? They're trying to send a message that they need him back. And it's going to be hard. He's going to say, why should I take a pay cut? I think it's safe to say Kyle Schwarber's contract needle isn't pointing down. So this is going to be a lot more expensive to keep them both than I think they thought it was when they showed up in Clearwater. The one thing about JT is he'll be 35 next opening day. You wouldn't figure this could possibly be a long deal, right? You know how many catchers in this century have started 125 games in the season at age 35 or older? What would you guess, Rick?
In this century? 10?
In this century. It's 1.
1?
Jorge Posada
Wow.
started 127. That was 18 years ago. And so, again, I think that points to a shorter deal for JT, but even if it's short, he's going to want to get paid. Are the Phillies going to be able to afford, say, $45 million to re-sign JT and Kyle Schwarber per year? I mean, they're going to free up some money with Ranger and Kepler and Romano and Joe Ross and Alvarado if they don't pick up his option. But I think you're asking me, can they afford to sign both? You should really be asking John Middleton. It's his call.
True.
Jason, we appreciate it, man. You're going to be joining us every week, and I couldn't be more grateful to have you on. Thanks for your time, brother.
Yeah, I look forward to it, guys. Thanks.
That was Hall of Fame writer Jayson Stark, covers Major League Baseball for The Athletic. Like I said, he will be joining us every single week. He told us a lot in there that I want to react to coming up after this because he was talking about JT Realmuto. Well, JT Realmuto last night weighed in on his pending free agency. I thought he made some interesting comments.
What's up, everybody? It's Bill Colarulo from Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we post a ton of content. It's not just what you hear on air. We're posting content all day long. We do some things before the show, after the show, even stuff during the show. So subscribe, like, do whatever you got to do. We got all this content coming to you every single day.